Good morning, welcome to 59 Minutes. My name is Levi Konas. It's Friday, and on Friday we like to talk about things that affect us socially. And this Friday we're going to be talking about drug addiction, drug abuse. And to join me in that conversation is David Ogot. David Ogot is, how do I put it? A recovering alcoholic.
Recovering alcoholic.
Hakuna recovered, sindio?
Hakuna. In my book,
Yes.
some say there is. But to me, recovered is you can go back to, I can go back to drinking how I used to drink before I crossed into addiction, which I can never.
So recovering alcoholic, you and you know, people ask me and they say, why do we talk about drug addiction so much? Why?
As I was showing you just now, there's a lady who has just inboxed me about her 2 adult sons who are struggling with alcohol and other hard drugs. It is a problem which is everywhere. And as we've tried to say, in fact, I think even on this program, it's humans who take drugs. So every endeavor of a human being, every sphere, every field, there's a drug use and abuse angle involved. Currently, we talked the other time, I think, about this unrest in schools.
Yes.
You will find a big percentage is to do with drug abuse. In sports, in the office, in the workplace, at home, everywhere. Now with COVID-19, our current alcohol awareness month, the theme is alcohol and COVID-19. Forget about the other drugs. Alcohol and COVID-19. And I think also on our previous show, we've talked about how it has affected everybody from the so-called common man. And I think one day we need to do a show to interrogate this common man business. Who is the common man and who is the special man and who says? But it affects everybody, right from the bottom, middle to the top. And yet we do not seem to have a structured, organized, everybody together,
a handle on it,
way to deal with it, starting of course with prevention. Yes. So
every now and then, David, something will come up, you know, we will find people and pictures, watu wanamwaga chang'aa. You know, there's a drive done by the government, and a focus is a spotlight is put on the alcohol and drug addiction, and then after some time, you know, it sort of dissipates. Is part of the problem the fact that we do not have a continuous, focused approach to the drug and abuse and addiction, you know, menace, so to speak?
Again, I'm going back to my previous statement. There is no structured, concerted, together effort.
There's the CADA.
There was an interview with the NACADA CEO, I think last week, in the Star newspaper, if I'm not wrong. And the big headline on the Star newspaper is, did you know Chang'aa is legal? So you dash to read the story, and it is, I think I've also said it on this show a year or 2 ago, Chang'aa was made legal by the Mtudo laws, but the structures to allow this have not been put in place. So if you are still caught brewing, drinking, blah, 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 you're going to be arrested. Now, my simple question is, even in that interview, he did not answer that question properly. Konyagi in, I think, Uganda, Waragi in Tanzania, all these have been wachana. What is Shminov and all these other imported spirits we consume? At one point in American prohibition, all these were called bootleg. They were all illegal. There is still moonshine in the US.
Yes.
There's illicit liquor here. Why can't we tap it? Just the same way we have milk. You were seeing people, they kamua their cows, they sell their milk. So you're saying, no, you know, these things need to be sanitary, blah, blah, blah. So why don't you have your cows, get your milk, bring it to a central place, and we check that it is fit for human consumption, we pay it. So we buy it from you, then we package and sell. Why? Because what are you going to do with the brewers? That's the only thing they know how to do. This is a legitimate business. This one you are banning, which is local technology. And in the shops, we are selling the same thing, but with the veneer of this is imported. Why can't we just have these people
just gone through some processes,
brew their KEBS checks that it is sour, just like you check the other ones made locally, etc. Again, we always want to kill our local industries. Alcohol is a drug, I will repeat, but we do not take it as a drug. So this again is the confusion, because all these young people, for example, we are talking about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs, as if those are three different things. Now, going that it is a drug, mood-altering drug capable of causing addiction. When you are finding a fight, a war, between one of the leading brewers and a local brewer, and I've even said this for years, these are drug wars. Yet the little brewers who will brew their stuff, and I think we just need to mention so that people are knowing the context, this Sierra stuff, for example, you'll find it in bistros, but not countrywide. So in a few places in Nairobi, etc. You are no problem, you are not a threat. But when you go like Tabitha Karanja, Keroche, now you are a threat. You are coming up with the same kind of brands, that is beer. Apart from, let's leave the other drinks for the time being, let's just talk about beer. So right from the beginning, billboards being pulled down, people walking in, buying the stock and spilling it so that the cars, these are drug wars. Yet we are not aware. You have your Moratinas, your Busas, your Munazis. What is the problem? Other countries are very proud of their local drinks. You have your tequilas, your what? Your vodkas,
but
your
even if you let it happen,
yes.
David,
yes.
would it have any impact on the amount of alcohol
yes.
consumed
yes.
and drugs abused in this country?
There's an MP who has brought forward a bill who is proposing to reduce the minimum packaging, the minimum amount to 750 ml should be the minimum.
Yeah. Zamani there used to be a sachet.
Yes.
Wakarusha yo inje.
Yes. So first we banned the sachets.
The sachets. Yeah, those are the.
Did drinking go down or up?
The drinking went up.
It went up.
Then we banned the plastic ones.
Then we banned the plastics.
Yes.
Did drinking go up or down? It went up. Now you want to ban, and don't forget, 750 ml is not only spirits. Beers. In fact, the traditional standard beer bottle across board is 500 ml. We used to have the old big one, which was 650 ml or thereabouts. Okay? Now, somebody who, for example, buys a quarter of whiskey or vodka or rum, spirits, and takes it home and drinks it over a week, at hot after work or on weekends. Now you are forcing him to buy 750 ml. Is he going to use Pythagoras and say, okay, a quarter I drink in a week, therefore 750 I will drink in 3 weeks? No. We didn't do geometry. Well, we are the old guys, last guys who did geometry.
You do the same thing.
So he's looking at it there.
Yeah.
So he's now going to go to 750 ml a week. Meanwhile, you are saying because of young people accessibility, young people depending on their backgrounds, the family's financial situation.
Yes.
They are the ones who even buy bottles of whiskey costing 10,000 bob. And they are the ones who will sit down and changa for a bottle of changa costing now, I think 100. The last time I drank changa, it was 100 bob a bottle. The kids will changa. They changa to hire cars. They changa to hire manyangas and have sex in it when it's moving and use drugs and what, so it's a mobile brothel stroke, den stroke, whatever. So that is not the way. That is not the way.
What would be the way? Because they say, okay, the alcohol producers,
yes.
they put those messages on the
Yes.
on the bottles.
Yes.
Drinking excessive alcohol is harmful to your health.
Yes.
They also put it on. They used to do adverts to Katoa,
Yes.
but the adverts have not helped much in terms of drinking. I mean, even right now, we're still in the middle of pandemic measures.
Yes.
And I was in Eldoret, for example,
Yes.
just the other week.
Yes.
And bars are open past curfew time.
Yes. Changa is still being sold, and it is still illegal. Cocaine is still being used. Heroin is still being used. Marijuana is still being used.
Yeah, so where should we start from? Because on the other hand, there is a hue and cry right now by many parents, many people of society, and as you rightfully mentioned, even in the school menaces, at the heart of it, or somewhere inside there, is the issue of drug abuse and possible alcohol addiction as a factor to what's happening with fires and all that. So you see younger children doing more risque things that we would not do because they are under the influence of something. But where do we start in terms of the education, the getting a grip and saying, hey, we have too many young people who are sliding into addiction, tuanze wapi? Tuanze na breweries, because even that packaging is somebody simply trying to come up with another way of giving a solution. But what would be a proper solution?
Now, first we have to agree, much as alcohol is a drug, much as tobacco, nicotine is a drug, much as the other drugs are drugs, alcohol is legal. Tobacco is legal. Though tobacco kills more people worldwide than alcohol related, all the other drugs combined, HIV, road crashes, and one other thing I always forget, combined tobacco, and it's legal. But let's go to alcohol. Legal, it is a legal business. So they need to be allowed to operate as a legal business where you are saying, this is the age where you are allowed to drink, this age and above. These are the places where you are allowed to consume in this manner. You are not allowed to drink and drive. You are not allowed bus. Then let them operate, because they're business. They're competing with each other. They're going to come up with fancy packaging, of course, advertising. They're trying to attract. So even adverts, there are regulations. You cannot advertise in a way where you make non-use of alcohol to make somebody appear to be not man enough or woman enough or
and that's
successful.
Good because
it
seems the horse already bolted out of the stable and we don't know how to get it back. Because, as you rightfully say, this is the manner you should consume it.
Yes.
But here we are in this country, in westernized country, if you walked into a bar and you drank, you took a tot and downed it, and then you took another, and then you took another, the barman would ask you, what's going on?
Yes. Yes.
And if you staggered one or two, they would ask you, do you have your car keys with you?
Yes.
They would ensure that you leave your car there,
yes.
you get home.
Yes.
Here, it doesn't matter.
And there's last call.
Yes, and there's last call.
Yes.
Before
there you are being warned now.
And we check ID.
Yes.
In fact, they even put it there, we check ID.
Yes.
If you're 21, don't bother.
Yes.
If you're under 21, don't bother even coming in. But here, we find that everything is designed to, we've got school students who have been caught drinking. They bought alcohol from somewhere.
Yes.
Somebody sold it to them, even with uniform.
They walk into a bar with uniform.
Yes.
They are sold alcohol. In my time, in fact, we were talking with a friend of mine yesterday, an Asian guy, who doesn't drink. But he's also wondering. Now, let's just go back to, so when you are looking at drugs.
So it looks like everything, Ikitu, Ilisha, as your answer, already outtrain us, all the possible ways of trying to manage it.
No, it was managed in the beginning. It was managed. But you see, there's so much confusion. The religious people come in, and this one I'm talking cross-board, whether Muslims or not. And for Muslims, it's very simple. It's haram. According to your religion, you shouldn't drink and use other mood-altering substances. They are haram. So them, they're okay. Christians, you find some use it for sacraments, some say it's the devil's drink. So there we are already confused bunch. Hallelujah. But when you are talking about business, and alcohol is in the Bible, in so many places in the Bible. Yes. Drunkenness is in the Bible. Let's not even go to
the wedding
story,
at Cana.
JC and watu wakaboeka. And I told the Buddha, see, you do something, boy. To changamuke.
The pastor is watching, by the way.
And he did.
Usinipigie simu.
So we need to sit down And I keep going back to President Uhuru Kenyatta said, and picked a stand. I've said, if you put 10 of us here and introduce us as experts and ask what is alcoholism, you will get 10 different answers. So the viewer is wondering, these are experts. Okay? So you need first a definition. What is your problem definition? We have not done that. President Uhuru made the right step where he said, okay, alcoholism is a disease. Now, if I were him, I would ask him just to make one more statement, the same statement, but add one word there. Alcoholism is a treatable disease. But he said it's a disease. So that puts away all these others according now the government position is this. Now, based on that, you now have the direction to go for prevention, which is the key. The key thing, remember Nakada Kagudi's time, I'm sure.
Yes.
Any small infraction, there was a press conference. If you go against advertising, whatever, we are going to ban advertising then totally. Because you said you'll self-regulate, you're not doing etc. So kind of, the horse was being brought back into the stable. And then he left. And the horse bolted again. And right now, I would even say we don't know where the horse is. Now, once you declare for the side of addiction, it is a disease. Then you are now looking at the age. We were saying in the beginning, age should be 21. And we have good reasons why even places like US took it down to 18. Some places was even 16, including other European countries. But after seeing the results, it was brought back to 21. And one of the main reasons is that your brain is not fully developed by 18, and alcohol and other drug use retards that development. So let's forget about immaturity and blah, blah, and blah. There's a very good
Just
biological reason
yes.
why you should actually push the start of alcohol now deciding, and of course then you are more mature and you decide what are the benefits for me, what are the disadvantages, and then you make an informed decision. Remember, I keep saying there's no such thing, and I tell kids in schools all the time, there's no such thing as a stupid decision. You know, you will tell a kid, that was a very stupid decision you made. No. The kid made a decision maybe with 5% information, 2%, or no percent, or 50%. Now, how do we get people to make decisions based on 100% information? So you start with prevention. Yesterday, I took one of my bikes to the garage. So a young guy comes, he's looking at the bike, he's also on a bike. Then he says, you came to our school in Bungoma High when I was in Form 2. This is a grown guy with a beard now, riding a huge machine. And in fact, we talked to him, I told him, go back to your school, we'll come and do another program free. So, and I've met kids like this. Yes, I don't even recognize them. Adults, ladies, what? Okay? So, there's a way where you do prevention first. Now, failing that, because of course there are guys who are still going to say, then we meet those guys in treatment. What is the treatment plan? And for example, stigma, which is so high, this is one of the biggest barriers to people getting help.
And I want to come back
and
talk about that, that particular barrier, stigma, because even if you look at our ticker, it says drug abuse, addiction, and stigma. We're going to come back on stigma. Don't go away. We'll take a quick break. This is 59 Minutes.